Go for it.
Okay, Bill Ball, in 1884, was the foreman of the LC Ranch, the Lacey Cattle Company, located in Recapture Canyon up by the Abajo or Blue Mountain. He had several fellows that worked for him out of New Mexico or Texas. They had brought in herds of like 10, 12,000 head of longhorn cattle out of Texas, New Mexico area. They were ranging these ranges which hadn't been used, so they were coming across here, out from here to Montezuma Creek, and around this south part of the Blue Mountain, as far west as the Utes would let him come, but they would only let him come so far. And they used the Texas method, which was you have a few cowboys, a whole lot of cows, you just ride the periphery of the range, driving them into the middle, and every once in a while you brand some calves, and once in a while gather some to take off the market. Well, this one winter, these three guys came into camp, and he was camped here on White Mesa, where Blanding's at now. But of course, Blanding didn't start till 1905. As these guys came into camp, they asked Ball about staying with him. He says, "Well, I'll feed you, and I'll let you have a tent and stay here, and you can work off your room and board next spring when we begin the spring roundup and branding and so on." And so he fed them all that rest of the winter for 2 or 3 months. And so come spring, about this time of the year, he got up one Sunday morning and all of his horses were gone. These 3 men were gone. They left him one old mule, nothing for the other boys to ride. He got his silver pistols and his nice holsters, put on his boots, spurs, got on the old mule, took off down towards the Combe, Butler country, following their tracks. He decided maybe I need some help. So I went over to Bluff. The men were just getting out of priesthood meeting, and one of them says, "I was over there into the Decker Butler country this morning, and I saw these group of horses come with these 3 guys chasing them. Those are your guys." They didn't know about the shortcut, so they were going clear down on the Mormon Trail that came out of the San Juan River around into the Combe to Bluff. And so Ball asked the men if they would come and help him, and they run home and they got their horses and took off. They didn't take much water, and it was a day like now where it was there was some water but not much. At any rate, as they got over to the edge of the canyon down what we call Navajo Spring, where you're going from Bluff towards the Monument Valley, you drop off that Combe Ridge. Down the bottom they could see the horses and the men camped there at the spring. The Bluff men said, "Well, let's go down and get your horses back." And Ball says, "No, we don't want to have any trouble. They're not bad guys. I'll just go in the morning, talk to them, get my horses, and we'll, Well, come morning, they were gone, daybreak. And they'd gone up the old Mormon Pioneer Trail up the twist, where it winds back and forth through the like coming up this trail we just came on.
That's the Hole in the Rock Trail.
Yeah,
right?
That's the old Hole in the Rock Trail.
Yeah.
It's called the Twist. It winds back and forth. A perfect place for an ambush. Well, Ball was riding ahead, and the Bluff men kept saying, "Stay back with us." He said, "No, I just got to get up there and talk to those guys, get my horses." Well, as he went around the corner, the shot rang out, and it shot him right through the bum. And
right through what?
Right through his butt.
Oh my.
At any rate, the men did drag him over in the shade of a tree because it was quite a hot day, and they took his silver spurs and these nice silver guns, but they were gone with the horses. Well, the Bluff men, when they came and found him, heard the shot, they got him on a horse and headed back to Bluff. On the way, he kept complaining, "Just let me off my horse. I'm so thirsty, While bleeding, you're gonna lose blood. You need hydrated," and they didn't have any water with them. So one of the Bluff men said, "Well, I know where there's a spring over here. I'll go get him a boot full of water." So he got him a boot full of water. By the time he got back, Ball was dead. But of course he would have probably died from the boot full of water. But at any rate, They buried him beside the trail. Later on, they dug him up and put him up in the Bluff Cemetery. We don't know where, but he's there somewhere.
So we went to that cemetery.
That's the story of Bill Ball. He was there somewhere.
And they never did get his horses or anything back.
So his there's no tombstone for him.
They should have
No.
gone down that night when everybody was there and
No.
just did it.
Albert said that one of the Bluff men was over in Colorado around Denver talking to some men at a, and he was telling them about this story, and one of the men's face kind of turned pale, and he said, "What else do you know?" And so this man said to him, "Were you one of those men?" He said, "Well, I was, but you're not going to tell anybody." I don't know if that's what you make of that. They never did find the outlaws, and never did get the horses back. So,
Died in vain.
story of Bill Ball.
Do you know any of his relatives?
I don't.
No.
No,
No.
don't know any of his relatives.
Yeah.
I don't know where he came from. Maybe you could help us do that research, Judy.
Well, the
Are you a
family-
researcher?
Gary's
Well,
family
I promised 5 minutes. and
Well,
Did we do it?
Yeah, that's pretty good. Thank you, Gary.
You bet. Well, one more story of the old
When
Wales.
Grandpa
Yeah.
was alive, he owned about